What's up, guys? Back here again with another quick video. I want to, I guess, finally introduce and show the final setup and scape of the 36-gallon Aqueon Bowfront that I picked up about a month ago. Let's see, where do I begin? Let's start with I guess, the filtration. So the 36-gallon Bowfront tank, I'm running, and as you guys know, that I am a fan of the internal filters, so I'm running, and I apologize for the glare, I have the flash on, but I am running a 20-gallon internal filter, and I'm running a 50-gallon hang on the back Aqueon filter. So I've got plenty of filtration. I've got a lot of flow. I'll take you up here and show you. You can see the amount of water movement and surface agitation that I have. So I'm pretty comfortable with the amount of filtration that I have in the Aqueon. I do have a sponge. I'm not using the regular Aqueon filter cartridges that come with it. I guess I'll get into the tank and escape last, but I want to talk about the stand, which I absolutely love. I was hesitant. I wasn't sure I made the right decision because there was a 45-gallon tank that I was looking at, and it came with a stand for the same price. But honestly, I love the way this stand looks. It doesn't look, or I should say, it looks more like a piece of furniture than it does, an actual fish tank stand. Not only that, but I love this kind of magnetic, and you can see some of the stuff I have down in there. But I love this, magnetic door. And all in all, it really is just an awesome looking stand. I couldn't be more happy with it. One thing I will show you, and I kind of did this. I'm not saying you have to do this, but I just kind of did it. Like I said in that initial video, this is the biggest tank that I've had before, but this piece of wood actually kind of drilled into the surface or to the top and bottom of the tank just to give myself a little more support, because I knew I would be putting, a decent amount of substrate and rocks and whatnot into the tank. So not saying you have to do that, not saying that the tank wouldn't hold, but I am saying I did that just, so I could essentially feel a little more secure about everything I was going to put in to the tank. All right, so let's get into let's get into the scape. Let's see, where do I start? So, if you remember, I kind of replaced the 20-gallon with this tank, or I'm using this one to replace a 20-gallon tank. So a lot of the plants, the rocks, the wood came out of that 20-gallon tank. Now I've got a lot more driftwood in here, but one of the main pieces of driftwood, this one right here, came out of that 20-gallon tank. These rocks right here also came out of the 20-gallon tanks. This kind of carpet of crypts came out of the 20-gallon tank. These S repens came out of the 20-gallon tank. So I really didn't spend a whole lot of money, which I was fortunate to be able to kind of take and recycle and reuse a lot of those plants, rocks, out of that 20-gallon tank. This big Anubias right here came out of the 20-gallon tank. I added some other pieces of driftwood here, and there's one piece back there. As far as the plants, there's some Java fern tucked in there. The big Anubias. This is a new plant that I tried, the Kabamba plant. Some S repens or Stargini repens, I believe is the name. And then this is all cryptocorns right here. I wanted to add a touch of red, so I use and I'm going to try to pronounce it correctly this time, the alternate there, Renaki. Um, I wanted, like I said, a splash of red, and I'm actually having a lot of success with this plant in some other tanks, so I threw it in there. Behind there, I have some long stem plants that honestly haven't grown in yet, but give it some time, they will grow in. But really, as far as what I maybe consider one of the highlights as far as plants in the tanks is these. They were bulb plants. This Apongeton, I believe, is the name, which was a bulb plant that I saw, and I'd heard some things about it on some other videos, so I wanted to try it, and I love how it just kind of gives the tank a sense of height, and really kind of gives it a mature look because these plants go up so high. So I'm really excited about those. Getting into the fish and stocking, I have this gourami I've had probably for the better part of a year and a half. He was in the 20-gallon tank. I stayed with the silver tip tetras. I had about 6 of those left in the 20-gallon tank. I moved those over, and I even bought probably another 6 or 7. I don't know if you guys remember, that's the giant black neon that I highlighted in one of my videos. That fish is doing well. And I wanted to try some new species, so I got a couple angelfish. And I know you might be thinking, the tank might be overstocked, and I've said this before. That's why I kind of double up on filtration to account for the overstocking. But so far, I've kept up with my water changes. I'd usually do water changes on this tank probably every 3-4 days, maybe 4 to 5 days is when I do water changes. I finally went and bought one of those Python water changes, which really, I could probably do a separate video on that alone. I know there's a ton of videos out there, but me being what I consider still a beginner in the hobby, anybody who's looking at getting large tanks, it's an awesome investment. They're not the cheapest thing out there, $50-$60, but for the past 2 years I've been doing water changes with buckets, and man, to be able to kind of do water changes at a faster pace and not have to worry about buckets is honestly a life changer. It actually makes me want to do water changes more often, to believe it or not. So but like I said, I haven't had any. Let me talk about the substrate. So what do I have in there? So I knew I wanted to do a lot of plants. So I actually did, I don't know if you can see the slope of the tank. So the first layer is actually a layer of potting soil that I went and picked up at Home Depot. That's the first layer. Second layer is some of the substrate from the 20-gallon tank. I had a lot of good plant growth with that. Also, I wanted to reuse some of the beneficial bacteria in that substrate. Over top of that, I put a layer of fluval stratum. And that actually goes probably to about right here. I'm not going to plant anything right here. I love the look of just kind of having the plants on this side growing in and kind of having this open swimming space over here. But as you can see, after about a month, the plant growth that I'm getting is pretty substantial. So I think I made the right choice, especially with that layer of dirt. I've done some tanks before with dirt, and I've had really good plant growth. So time will tell. But just wanted to kind of introduce this tank. I know there's other videos out. This is a popular tank. PetSmart, they sell a ton of them. I wanted to kind of show you guys, I guess, my take on it. Show you guys, I guess, some of the things you can do with the tank. Show you, how nice a Bowfront tank will look. It's not the biggest tank out there, but I love Bowfront tanks. I think they just have a very, very unique look that makes them stand out amongst all the other tanks. So, as always, any questions or comments, please leave them down below. You know, I try to be as honest and upfront and as encouraging as I can be with the comments. Like I said, I still consider myself a beginner, so but if I can help you guys out, definitely more than happy to do that. As always, any questions or comments, leave them down below, and I will talk to you guys down the road. I do just kind of want to do a kind of a once around kind of look at the tank, so you guys get some different angles. But yeah, this is you know, I think anytime you set up a new tank, it becomes your favorite. And needless to say, this is now my new favorite tank, probably until I set up another one. So hope you guys enjoyed this video. Talk to you later.